Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. It is now time for the...
Sorry, that's really loud.
It's even worse when it's not in headphones.
I'll just kill that.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
stop.
It's time for the top 7.
Seven?
Yeah, 7. And I've heard we have an introduction now.
Put up the 7 and 7.
7.
Yeah, 7.
We pick the top 7 of something Disney, then debate the order. And you complain we got it all wrong. It's the top 7 on WDW News Tonight.
That's awesome.
Great intro.
There
you go.
That's pretty fantastic.
Good job. Here, I can move this.
Now, if only you came to rehearsal.
There was a
There's
rehearsal?
a rehearsal.
We don't, Michelle, you just show up.
I feel like you and I rehearsed. Yeah.
Okay.
Everything perfect.
So what we do on the top 7 is we go around, everybody submits one entry for our list of 7. And with that entry, we then rank them. So once we have all 7 entries from our 7 panelists, we then put them in order. And then, as Nick said, everyone in the chat room is angry. So that's what we're going to do. The topic tonight is the worst things, in your opinion, to ever happen at the Walt Disney World Resort. Because negativity is fun. Yes. Otherwise, this is just a Lou Mangello podcast, and no one wants that. So,
WWNC, negativity is our middle name.
there you go. Tom Negativity, Amity Corliss. That's it. Michelle, why don't you lead us off? What do you think is the worst thing that ever happened at Walt Disney World?
So I said the reimagineering of Journey into Imagination.
Ooh, it's a good one.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah. It was
Why?
hard for me to choose because I have a couple that I'm real passionate about.
I want to know what the runners-up were. What were the other ones you really were upset about?
Horizons going away.
Good one. Good answer. Good answer.
Basically, like anything old Epcot is really.
millennial.
Yeah. I'm wearing the ears. Come on. Yeah, those were the biggest things. Anything Epcot related for me were
But Figment over.
Figment overall everything.
Okay. That's fair.
And then Snow White closing.
Wow, Snow White.
Tom had a chance to say something different.
Well, yeah.
She wrote it in first, so I let her have it. Yeah, I had to pick something
Well, that's why I said, is this okay?
I
'Cause-
thought more people. So what we do, for those unaware, when we prepare the segment, I have every panelist send in what they're going to pick because no one can overlap. That's the idea. And so what was funny was none of you overlapped. So no one else picked that. I was going to pick it, but none of the rest of you picked
Oh.
it.
I was also told I couldn't write Tom Corliss.
It's all right. Everyone in the Team Disney building wrote Tom Corliss. It's all right. Jessica, why don't you go next? Time for some ASMR. It's probably on already.
Welcome to the WWNT.
That's low.
It's really low. Talk like a human.
I was doing the ASMR experience. So mine is pretty obscure. And I love how a lot of people actually don't know what it is. So my top 7 worst thing to happen is a loss of Song of the Rainforest at
Rafiki's Planet Watch.
Rafiki's
No one knows about it.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes.
The dark booths where you wore headphones, you think that closing was one of the 7 worst things.
Wait, I thought that was Global Neighborhood.
To me, that was one of the worst things because I love making the train back there, and then Grandmother Willow's there, and I love Pocahontas and her castle. And then you sat in a cold, dark booth, and then you put on these like old 1980s headphones, like the little wire ones. And
This is the
then-
most millennial answer of all time.
Okay, so the parks are hot, they're loud, and they're annoying, and then.
But I love Disney.
And they're full of millennials.
Oh boy.
And then all of a sudden you
I think that's the SeaWorld tagline, actually. Hot, loud, annoying SeaWorld.
You sit in a booth, and then it's kind of weird though, because they would juxtapose like the serene sounds of the rainforest, and then all of a sudden you'd have like a chainsaw knocking the forest down. They had that like circle of life vibe.
They just showed Fern Gully.
But anyway, it was like 10 minutes of bliss.
That would have been an
and
improvement.
it was,
There would have been visual aid at that
was
point.
a quiet respite from the crowds that I appreciated very much. See, Forky Lady agrees with me.
You think this is one of the 7 worst things
Of all
to
time.
ever happen? The closing of a dark booth.
We could build one. I think we should.
I could
thinking
literally
so,
turn
yeah.
that corner room we don't know what to do with
Yeah.
into the songs of the rainforest
Well,
booth.
that would be the best thing to happen to the studio.
I
so-
think we need.
Whoa.
I think we need to legitimately do it. I think we're gonna build a song of the
props are
rainforest.
still
I'm
there.
serious.
We
Just
went-
buy one of those like strip photo things from movie theaters
No.
and put a curtain on it.
No,
That's,
it wasn't the same. It was actually like soundproof.
This is soundproof, right?
So
That wall totally connects to the ceiling. For those of you at home, it does not.
yeah, all the pieces are there. We could just.
I have the audio. We could absolutely do
And
it.
So-
we could probably go buy stuff at Cast Connection that has like that they destroyed.
I'm not
No,
allowed
that's
in
the
there
thing.
anymore.
You're not. We can get some.
top 7's really taking a turn.
I went to go check out the animation experience, and Song of the Rainforest is literally still there. They just
Yeah.
put a bunch of planters in front. I'm like, is it coming back? They're like, yeah. I mean, no, it's not. It's not coming back.
It's gone. It's behind planters. We can't move them. It's over. Yeah.
That's the worst thing.
I somehow would feel better if the Great Movie Ride was behind planters and still there. that would make me feel a lot better.
Listen,
but-
you made this sound like we actually had time to think. He just ran around shoving
Yes.
papers in her. They're like,
Yeah,
right,
at
the
about
worst
what?
thing
Story
that
check six.
happened.
That's
6:45.
I want to tell a story about last night. The story was everyone wanted to go home, and I asked everybody, I'm going to ask this question, and I want a honest answer, and if you feel
I'm
good
glad
about
you're
the
telling the
answer,
story.
we can go home. And I asked, the question was, do you honestly think if we go home now, we will have enough time tomorrow to finish setting up? And everyone goes, yeah, we'll be fine.
and then Tom Corliss shows up at 12:30 today, and we immediately go to lunch.
Mind you, we went to the ale house last night.
Nathan and I were here at like 9:30, and Tom Corliss didn't show up till 12:30, and then we went to lunch. So you didn't actually say, do you think you didn't ask, do you think you'll have enough time to get set up? You said, do you think we'll have enough time to get set up? So I assumed we would have more people here.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
I want Jason to be here every
Another
week.
commercial break.
All right, we'll continue on. That's fair.
We
I also
go
was on a
on.
13-hour time difference a day.
Oh,
though,
I
for people.
understand.
Thank you. All right. Jason, why don't you have a loud mouth? Why don't you go next?
I will go next. So I said when the Spaceship Earth received a new narration with Dame Judi Dench.
Partial
No,
to
someone said
Jeremy
no.
Irons.
Actually, to be honest, I'm partial to Walter Cronkite,
Yeah,
but
Walter
anything is better
Cronkite.
than Judi Dench.
Yes.
Damn.
Spaceship
Wow,
Earth.
that is not true.
Jason
Spaceship
did not
Earth.
come to play today.
It could have been
like-
Pee Wee Herman doing the voice. We got Dame Judi Dench.
Spaceship Earth.
He's
is one of my-
literally in 2 attractions, Pete. You know that, right?
Well, Martin Short was busy.
Wow.
Spaceship Earth is one of my favorite attractions, top 2.
I know. Isn't it the
It's
story of your
church.
life?
Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, like how you learn to like
burning
write
of
on the
Rome.
walls, and then you tap papyrus.
Iris, what'd you say?
He's definitely calling Jason a caveman, in case anyone...
Papyrus.
That's what. That's what.
Whatever happened to that video where we waxing you?
That's
It's in the filing cabinet. It's under X.
that's a whole
So,
different level of
so
club.
Spaceship Earth is one of my 2 favorite attractions. The other one being Universe of Energy. So I almost put Universe of Energy closing, but because it was the Ellen version, I was like, nah. So
Well, you could have put the switch.
I could have put the Switch.
Yeah.
That would have probably been my second item.
I think that just counts as that overhaul. I don't think we could just put the Judi Dench narration as
Any
its own.
overhaul. Well, and I could have put. I mean, my favorite is the Walter Cronkite version, but Jeremy Irons was really good too. So I didn't want to put that transition as the worst because it wasn't the worst. It was disappointing to me, but it wasn't the worst. Judi Dench is the worst.
I just want that on a shirt. Judi Dench is the worst.
I'd also like
Jason
to apologize to
Diffenthal.
Judi Dench because she is one of our watchers and listeners. So
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, and you might as
Dame
well
Judi
apologize
Dench.
to Bob Chapek because he's also a watcher and a listener.
they're watching together right now.
Oh,
They're
it is,
together.
it's
No
like
one knew that.
Netflix and chill.
They're sharing a pickle.
WDW News Tonight and chill.
His favorite park snack is a pickle.
I don't trust people.
He
like
said that on stage at D23. He literally goes, "Oh, the pickles, those are my favorite. Do we still sell those?"
It's because he can eat
This
those
is
with
the
ketchup.
chairman of Parks and Resorts. Do we sell pickles?
Not
I'm
at
not
Liberty
on
Tree
Pecos
Market.
Bill anymore, I can
question.
tell you that.
Pete, why don't you go ahead? Please pick
so-
something that's actually at a Disney park.
I too. I mean, besides the loss of the X-Files, I too was given very little time, so I just, in the 6 seconds I had, I put the Yeti breaking on Everest, thus
good one.
taking it out of contention for the greatest ride in the parks. It hurts because obviously it's an ongoing joke, and how amazing that ride was with the Yeti. That breaking was heartbreaking to me. So yeah, that, and I mean, it was between that and when they took the Illuminati out of Living with the Land. Apparently, I'm the only one who knows that joke. That was the whole. People watching will know what I'm talking about because that's a joke.
I
Never
read
mind.
some really weird things about that.
You've heard what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Oh
You've read
yeah.
articles about
There's
how
some crazy
about
stories.
how the
You've
little
not read
house
one of
in Living
those?
with the Land? Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
you go in
oh,
the
the
house
house?
and
The little
there's
house, there's a secret tunnel that
Yeah.
goes down. That's where like the Illuminati meets.
people get
Oh,
murdered
And there's
down
secret
there,
tunnels you can leave the
sacrificed.
park.
Yeah.
That's actually not real, but that was. It's really fun when you have to explain a joke to an entire audience. That's fun.
That's what we do. That's our specialty.
Every Thursday night.
Thursdays at night. Cameron.
I put the correct answer.
Oh,
The,
the
in-
NBA experience open.
I wasn't allowed to put things that aren't open yet. The increase in popularity of the Epcot Food and Wine Festival.
Boy,
And
got
it
deep.
really kind of explains itself. You got your crowds, you got your drunk millennial kids who are not me.
I think there's drunk people of all ages
Yeah.
at the food and
It
wine
kind of
fair.
goes for
Lots of
every
us have a
festival,
drink
the arts
around the world,
festival, the
too.
food and wine festival, all of them
I just
increase.
wish people could drink responsibly at Epcot. Let me just say, I'm totally on board.
I'm not even going to get into this with you.
For like half a second.
I don't know what to say after that.
I almost put the
answer.
existence of 12 salmon dishes every year. That was almost one of mine.
Yeah,
Piggyback on
it's
that.
mostly a crowd thing, but it is.
Crowds.
When I go to Epcot, I spend more money when the festivals are on.
Because they force you to.
Right, 'cause alcohol is a big thing.
No doubt.
I'm a
You
big
don't
diet
have to go to a
Epcot guy.
booth. No one's forcing you.
Yeah, but I want to.
Oh, marketing.
All right. That's it? You good?
Yeah, I'm probably good.
All right. Nick, go ahead.
When I found out that they let the SpectroMagic floats rot backstage,
Good answer.
Oh, good answer.
that
That's
was
the correct
devastating
answer.
Poignant response.
because I remember, foolishly when it went away, and I didn't make a big thing of it. I mean, I didn't go to it like I don't even think I went to it one last time because I was like, yeah, it'll be back. I
They
can't
said it
remember.
would come back.
Yeah, right.
'Cause
And-
they always tell the truth.
Yeah, right. So it's at least with Illuminations, I have the chance to go see it a bunch of times this summer, and and experience it, a few last times. I know when that's ending, and that just makes it a lot easier when something like Spectro goes away, and that was just a huge part of my life. And it was one of the things that I loved that parade, and I don't love parades. But that parade I loved, and the music, the sights, the sounds, everything. And so never to be able to experience that again really, really was devastating. So, and then to find out what they, why.
That
why.
Disney rained on your parade.
It was just ridiculous.
It
So,
just literally was left outside.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they got the pins. Piece of Spectro history. So
I'm sure
there
that
you go.
helps. Yeah. Yeah. It's all right. As long as there's pins, we'll be fine.
Right.
I mean, there's another mechanical thing that I wish they would leave outside to rust. And we won't talk about that. We have a sound effect for it.
Are they going to make pins of the globe from Reflections
Oh,
of
no,
Earth?
I'm not talking about the globe.
He's talking about.
No, I know
Mr.
you're not.
Roboto.
No, I know you're not. I'm just wondering.
They haven't done piece of history pins in a while. I don't know.
No, Disneyland has done them, but not Walt
It's
Disney.
been a
Yeah.
while even for them now. It's
Yeah.
been a couple months at least. Yeah. But that's all we need is pins. Apparently, you can close whatever
Yeah.
as long as you turn it into pins.
And I mean, we've got a lot of things. We got Piece of the Great Movie Ride, Piece of Illuminations. There's a
Yeah, I
lot
mean,
of
the
things.
rate they're closing stuff,
We
they can
should
have a
have
pin
a
every
whole-
day.
Yeah,
I
we should
want a
have
pin of
definitely
the
have another
song of the
series.
rainforest.
Oh.
A piece of
So
song
it's a
of the
piece of like
rainforest.
the headphone.
The headphones.
That's right. Yeah. Black
Like a little
dirty
piece
phone.
of the cushion.
Well, you get those anyway. When you just put them on, they stick to your ear.
They were really bad.
Yeah.
That was their charm.
I voted for Cosmic Ray as the top quick service.
Don't remind me. Please don't bring up.
Y'all remember
That is
that?
See, if
sore
people are
subject.
groaning.
That is a sore subject.
I am looking forward to March Madness. We'll have people in this room to actually boo all of you
Yes.
when you make the
I
when you
agree.
make the wrong choices. I'm looking forward to it.
Best counter service.
Jason just votes by a show of hands in the room.
Actually, I usually do something like alphabetical.
Alphabetical. Yeah, it's no method to your madness.
Depends. What
I want to put the two of you on your own show. There's some untapped potential over here that I will never watch. Someone will watch it. Probably predictable. I put the closure of the Great Movie Ride. Because it was like closing Spaceship Earth. It was the middle of the park. It captured what the park was, I think, perfectly. And for a company that really enjoys putting IPs and everything, to not have the thought of just updating it with, if you even just want to use just your own IP, you have many, many years of movie history in your own company that you could have updated scenes, so you could have kept the ride. But why the decision needed to be made to rip out the ride in favor of a cartoon ride, which is now going to be in the centerpiece of your park?
Because here in Florida, we have the blessing of size.
A park about movies, and instead you're doing a ride about shorts.
And they bought Fox,
don't-
which would have given them more freedom as well.
Yeah. So I think that was just nonsense, especially because it was a ride that was literally made to have scenes. I think those scenes could have easily been swapped out all of the time. And so there was no reason. Did it need an update? Absolutely. I think closing the Great Movie Ride, I think we let them slide on that, and I think that was a mistake at the time. I think we didn't have a lot of time to prepare, and maybe in
We
more
gotta
recent
country
times
beared
in more recent times we jumped ahead of things like that and tried to stop them, and maybe we're successful. But yeah, that one still bothers me every time I go to that park. That's all I can think about. And I can't think of any other closure like. Even with Epcot, not necessarily every time I go to Epcot did I think, oh, I really miss Imagination. Like certainly every time I ride Figment, but I think it wasn't the complete DNA of the park. Like Spaceship Earth, if Spaceship Earth was missing, I think people would feel that way at Epcot.
Yes, for sure.
And I think because Spaceship Earth will stay, people won't. But at Hollywood Studios, it is absolutely the heart and soul of the park is gone, as are many other things that were in it. And so I think that one's real bad. It's a real bad one.
That's like a general sentiment too. Like there's that meme going around or like that tweet that's like, oh, it's 98 degrees outside at Disney's Hollywood Studios. If only there was a air-conditioned attraction that taught you the history of film.
A 20-minute air-conditioned ride, yeah.
So
No,
I-
now you
I-
have.
The shortened version of that is if only there was an attraction.
If
Well,
only
there
I
were
didn't
things to
stand in the
do.
sun for 80 minutes to then go on an outside roller coaster. Yes. Okay, so we have our 7 items for the list. We have the Judi Dench narration. Really dislike Judi Dench. We have Song of the Rainforest.
that's right.
As the crowd goes silent.
The original Journey into Imagination closing. The Yeti breaking on Expedition Everest. The proliferation of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival. The leaving SpectroMagic out in Florida in rain. And the closure of the Great Movie Ride. So what are we putting at the bottom of this list? Song of the Rainforest.
She knows.
Sorry.
She already knows.
Sorry, Jessica.
This is
Yes.
this is fine. This is like on brand for me. I picked the
On brand.
Like
Or
Mr.
brand.
Toad's Wild Ride.
know.
What is your
Brand.
brand?
Just mediocre millennial stuff.
Obscurity.
That's what you get for saying Indiana Jones was the worst ride
I
at Disneyland
chose
2 weeks
Mr.
ago.
Toad.
She did put Mr. Toad. I was okay with that.
Mr. Toad was a good answer. I was one of my runner-ups. That closer.
Yeah, it's fine. Songs are, so we're all in agreement.
Yeah.
Everyone
Yep.
but Jessica.
Yep.
All right. So number 7.
Acknowledged.
Why are we clapping?
Because we're in agreement.
Yay for last
Because she
place.
Whoever
participated,
can
so she
come
gets a
to our
trophy.
Animal Kingdom with me on
It's
Sunday.
yay for us being in
I'll be there.
agreement for once.
All right, number 6.
Judy Dench.
Judy
Just Judy
Epcot
Dench.
Food and Wine
and wine,
Festival.
right?
Yeah, food and
I'm
wine.
between those two.
Who's going food and wine?
Food and wine.
What's
Food
so
and
wrong
wine.
about-
No,
I
a
need
crowd
one
can be
more.
fun. A crowd
and
creates
wine.
energy.
We need one more.
No,
No, a crowd
I'm
creates
going food
energy.
and wine because I don't think
Rachel,
Judy
you're going
Dench
food
is
and wine.
that
We have 4.
I
bad.
don't want that to be 6. I want
We
that
have
to be
4
5.
people. It's over. Food and wine.
Food and wine.
Has been
Clearly,
said.
Tom just talked someone into voting for food and wine.
I didn't. I said, "Oh, we don't have enough," and Jessica goes, "Yeah, you do. I'm voting for
Dame
food
Judy
and wine."
Dench is an acclaimed actress.
Millennials love
She
Judy
deserves
Dench.
Respect.
Judy
She narrated songs of the rainforest.
Isn't Judy Dench a millennial from the last millennium?
Wow.
Tom, you're a millennial. That's kind of, you know.
True story.
That's great.
Maybe an
He's
age.
actually Gen, isn't he? What is it?
No,
Gen-
he's a
No, I'm definitely millennial. Yeah.
What is
Who's
it?
Gen X? Are you Gen
Would
X?
be, yes.
Is it?
I'm
Yeah.
both.
Gen
I'm
yeah.
cut off here,
Yeah.
I believe.
Gen X.
What year
I'm
is
a
millennial start? 80.
I thought it was like 82 to
82.
84-ish. That's what I was
Okay.
told.
It depends
'Cause I'm
on
both.
which.
If you're born in 1982 or after, I believe you're a millennial, technically.
Okay. What if you
That's a thing.
What if you were born before then?
You're Gen X, I
Gen-
think.
How far does
Gen
that
X
go
ended
back?
in
I have no
79.
idea. I'm not getting into this. I'm not
Guys,
getting into this
we're-
conversation
there's
now.
generation
We're
All right.
already
Keep
over
going.
time.
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Number 5, Judy Dench.
Judy Dench.
Sure. I'm
We're
okay
gonna
with
go- All
that.
right, number
Yeah.
5 is Judy Dench. All right,
Love you,
number
Judy.
4.
SpectroMagic.
Spectrum.
No.
Yeti. Yeti.
I'm going Yeti. I agree with
Yeti.
you.
Oh, you guys are
It's
haters.
still
No,
there.
because they could fix it.
If the witch was broken, I'd take the great movie ride.
Like, see,
What?
the
All
thing
right,
about
all right,
the
maybe
Yeti.
I will vote for my own. What are the options remaining?
Journey to Imagination closing, the Yeti breaking, SpectroMagic being left in the rain, and the great movie ride.
All right, so I would go SpectroMagic, then Yeti.
The
I will
only,
put mine
the
after
only
that.
one of those 4 that could possibly ever come back is
I
the
agree.
Yeti.
Yeah.
All right.
SpectroMagic rot. Like,
I think we already have 4 Yetis, so
Yeti 4
Yeti.
people for
Yeah.
Yeti?
Yeti.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the majority.
I'm voting.
Yeah, okay. Yeti. Number 3.
Spectrum.
what
mean,
are
I
our
did love
options
Spectro
right now?
too.
Like,
I
what's
kind
left?
of,
Imagination, great movie.
as
ride,
much as
Spectrum.
yeah, as
think
much
it's-
as I
I
hate
agree
Spectro, I think yeah, it has.
I
to.
love Spectra, but I think it's the other 2 are more.
I think
are
so,
worse
yeah.
For all of Disney.
I think so. Yep.
Because at least there was a night parade,
Also,
even
just-
if it was
Just
old.
look how
and
many people
bad.
still love Figment because of that ride in their merchandise every single year.
So we putting Spectra at 3 then?
We have.
I
to.
think so.
We have to.
And even Nick, who said
Yeah.
it, is putting it. So okay. So this is I think where it gets hard. We have to decide number 1, and it's either the closing of the original Journey to Imagination or Great Movie Ride.
Journey.
Great movie.
Wait, are we
Great
picking
movie.
number 1?
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're trying
number
to pick
1.
number one.
So that makes
So this is the worst thing that happened.
Yes.
We're voting for.
the worst thing that's happened at
Either-
Walt Disney.
Like,
Okay.
rips your heart out,
Yeah.
broke your childhood.
I
I
kind
gotta
of,
go
guys
Great
say
Movie Ride.
Figment, swear
I
to God.
kind of
As
gotta
much
go
as I hate
Figment.
it.
Yeah,
What?
Figment for sure.
I'm gonna go Figment.
You
I'm
know,
going
these are
GMR.
clearly like
You
the
still
2
have Figment.
The
like,
2 best
the
rides
2
ever.
saddest. Yeah, for me, my 2
In a
favorite
way.
all
Yeah.
time.
Right.
But you know what? Maybe it's because I'm over Figment at this point. Like I've had time to deal with it. Great Movie Ride still hurts.
Time to grieve.
That's because it's more recent. You haven't had the time to mourn yet.
It also, but also, there's not a dumbed down version of the Great Movie
Yeah,
Ride.
they didn't make a
There's
worse
still a
version.
dumbed
It's not
down.
even
There
open
is.
yet. It's delayed.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not even the same
And
ride.
Figment
and also,
still
it was the
exists.
park. It's like, Figment wasn't, even though they try to make it now in the merch, Epcot. It was a attraction at Epcot. The Great Movie Ride was that park.
The attraction.
Here's my argument though. I honestly think, as far as original attractions go, Journey into Imagination was a better attraction than Great Movie
I
Ride.
agree. I don't disagree.
But what was the
But the
worst
impact,
thing?
Great movie
Yeah,
ride
I mean
had.
the impact. Yeah, like what was the worst thing that happened?
What impact?
I
did
think
it-
Great Movie Ride affects way more people. I think there's plenty of people who have no idea.
That's because it closed. That's
But
because
Figment
millennials
still
were
exists,
born.
and people still have no idea he's a thing.
Well, okay.
So that's bad. If he's still been around all these years, but no one's like, people are still like, what is this?
You can get
what is this
4
big pillow of?
You
I don't
can
know
get
what this
4
is.
votes for great movie ride without me.
Oh, that's for sure.
Who else
So-
is going great movie ride? Number 1.
No.
Number 1?
There you go.
That's
No.
4 right
oh,
there.
we have 4.
See?
Oh, so that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
You don't need my vote.
All right, so let's You don't need my vote. I'm irrelevant. All right.
Song of the
So it shouldn't even be on.
Yeah, there's
Number
like 7 other
7.
things I could put in
The
place.
7th worst thing
No.
to ever happen at Walt Disney World.
It's not.
Song of the Rainforest closing.
At least we have the affection section.
You would have had more
You know-
votes with paper straws coming
You
to the
realize
park.
Paper straws would have been number 1.
getting
I
rid of
think.
the plastic lid? Yeah. Right?
If I can share a story, you might think, and I think the Walt Disney Company believes, that the most read stories in the history of WDWNT are rumors or like announcing attractions ahead of time. They're not. Paper straws and them changing to solo cups are like 2 of the top 10 stories of all time. So let's be honest, if
And the
Paper Straws was on,
the changing of the flavors at Club Cool was up there too. In
that was the
10.
top story of the year that year.
Yeah.
And when
was
they
Club
raised
Cool
their own
changing
pricing.
flavors.
Isn't that
Also,
big too?
pretzels going up like $2. Yeah, that was the thing. But anyway, so number 7, Songs of the Rainforest closing. Number 6, the proliferation of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival.
a good answer.
I don't disagree with that. I don't know if it belongs on this list, but I think that's a good answer. Number 5, Judi Dench narrating Spaceship Earth. Number 4, the Yeti breaking.
The right spot.
Number 3, the leaving SpectroMagic out in the rain. Number 2, the closure of the original Journey into Imagination. And number 1, the closure of the Great Movie Ride. That's our list. And we're sticking to it.